true, Blake Lively, the actress who once charmed audiences with her role in It Ends With Us, now finds herself entangled in a courtroom saga that could rival any on-screen plot. In a move that has left many clutching their pearls, Lively has petitioned the court to dismiss Justin Baldoni's hefty $400 million defamation lawsuit against her.
Should we now begin feeling bad for Blake Lively because she appeared at her Simple Favor 2 premiere, and people are noting that she seems increasingly uncomfortable and anxious, and maybe it really is just a lot for her to deal with. When Anna Kendrick was asked about Blake Lively on the red carpet, she was a bit pithy.
Be working with Blake again.
Oh,
we're talking about you.
Just, oh, you know. So Marcos, who's another TikToker who essentially got his video banned because he had received a tip that the Reynolds family was lobbying Jenny Slate to join as a plaintiff. And Jenny Slate was pushing back on that, and he had heard from somebody in the orbit that was true.
This legal tussle has not only spotlighted Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, but has also drawn in conservative commentator Candace Owens, who has been anything but silent on the matter. With allegations of misconduct, countersuits, and public spats, this real-life drama offers a feast of intrigue, scandal, and a touch of the absurd.
Lawsuit against her.
Oh my, Justin Baldoni's lawyers have now leaked the official footage of her alleged sexual harassment, and I now need this to go to trial. So the story goes, essentially, he says she didn't even read the book before signing on to the project. Then she read the book and kind of became consumed with it and wanted to basically introduce her own lines and wanted to become a part of the project and rework the script. So she submitted to him her ideas for how to rework the script, and apparently he gave her feedback, essentially saying, like, you know, I really love how passionate you are about this project. Maybe we'll take some of these ideas, but like, obviously we're not going to take all these ideas because it's our project. And this was not good for Blake.
Balake.
She wrote this. This is her text message back to Justin Baldoni. She wrote, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi. And like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better. Because my dragons also protect those that I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine." Why do celebrities not know they're insane? Like, do they know that human beings don't text like that? That's my question. Do they understand that at no point in my entire life am I texting that to anybody, especially when we're dealing with a work setting and somebody is the person who is running the movie? It's their project. I'm like, I've got little monsters, little dragons, and their name's Taylor Swift. I don't often use them, but if you give me what I want, yes, exactly what I want, they are not going.
The saga began in December 2024, when Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, accusing Baldoni of misconduct during the production of It Ends With Us. The New York Times reported that Baldoni allegedly hired a PR crisis management team to bury Lively after she confronted him about the alleged misconduct. Documents obtained by Lively via subpoena purportedly showed a coordinated effort to discredit her across both traditional and social media.
Touch of the absurd.
So they wrote in the last paragraph, late last night, which was what I said, I tweeted this, late last night while we all slept, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds filed a protective order. The guilty as sin couple is asking a judge to protect from the public some confidential documents and names that will be gathered in the discovery process. And then after they put my tweet, they write, predictably, the media outlets picked up the same narrative. Okay, yeah, but that's what you did. Like, what am I guilty of here? Leading the pack of people, like, because, like, what, we're psychotic and we're checking your filings every day? And we said, oh, look, yeah, she's filing for more protection to protect, she thinks it's confidential documents. We just read through this. We showed the public that's what you're doing. So I don't understand why I got name checked here. And then just to say, predictably, the media outlets picked up the same narrative. They're like, they got me out here looking like Regina George when she cuts her shirt. And then everybody just starts cutting their shirts. It's like, no, I'm just telling.
In a swift and predictable countermove, Baldoni filed a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan. He accused them of orchestrating a smear campaign to tarnish his reputation and wrest control of the film. Baldoni's complaint painted Lively as a manipulative figure attempting to deflect attention from her own alleged misjudgments by casting herself as a victim.
Across both traditional and social media.
Narrator. She did not listen. She did not take my advice at all. I said that having read through Blake Lively's complaints, that it was evident to me that she was likely under the influence when she filed her complaint. Not under the influence of drugs, not under the influence of alcohol, but of the influence of proximity to Taylor Swift. Maybe one Eras tour too many had been attended by her and Ryan, and they were just feeling like they were Taylor Swift. I just recognized her brand of feminism.
Candace Owens, the conservative commentator known for her unfiltered opinions, found herself unexpectedly mentioned in the legal documents, a development she addressed with characteristic candor on her platforms. In a video titled "They Finally Mentioned Me in the Blake Lively Lawsuit," Owens expressed her bewilderment over being dragged into the fray, stating, "I'm just telling the truth. I don't understand what your problem is with me, other than the fact that I am under your skin. I'm not going to let go. I'm like a pit bull. I'm on to you."
Mark my words, take it to the bank. This is what's going to happen. She is going to ruin the life and the career of Isabella Ferrer. That's what I think. Isabella Ferrer is going down, okay? Isabella Ferrer thought that Blake Lively was her friend. She thought that Blake Lively was doing stuff because she wanted to be her big sister. She was styling her, took her to the Deadpool premiere. We talked about this strategy of just routine love bombing that her and Ryan Reynolds engage in.
Owens's involvement stems from her commentary on the Lively-Baldoni dispute, where she sided with Baldoni, criticizing Lively's allegations as part of a broader issue of false accusations in the dying #MeToo era. Her outspoken stance and substantial following amplified the public discourse surrounding the case, much to Lively's chagrin. Lively's legal team cited Owens's commentary as part of the alleged smear campaign against her, a move that Owens dismissed as an attempt to silence dissenting voices.
This TikToker, Marcos, who runs the Be Better company, actually was Team Blake Lively when this all began, and then did this crazy thing called reading Justin Baldoni's countersuit and was like, listen, I know this is going to sound crazy, but everything that I'm reading here points to the fact that Blake Lively manipulated her audiences and lied to her audiences. And like, I'm kind of shocked as someone who fully believed her, and he's just basically as psychotic as me.
Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. So my source has told me that Lively's legal team is allegedly attempting to amend their filing and add Jenny Slate as a plaintiff to the lawsuit. But Jenny Slate allegedly does not want to be involved in this mess at all. And if she rejects their offer to be made an actual plaintiff in the case, which seems likely, they're likely going to subpoena her anyway and just include her testimony or her as evidence, because she allegedly has had some very bad experiences with Justin Baldoni in regard to harassment or being made to feel uncomfortable on set. I think at this point, Lively's team very strongly believes that if they're able to add more women officially to the lawsuit, that the claims will look more legitimate. But at this point, I don't think Jenny Slate or anyone else on the cast really wants to jump aboard.
The legal battle took another twist when Lively's attorneys filed a motion to dismiss Baldoni's lawsuit, labeling it a vengeful and meritless attempt to misuse the legal system. They argued that the lawsuit was a retaliatory tactic designed to intimidate and silence Lively following her misconduct allegations. Citing California's Civil Code Section 47.1, enacted in 2023 to protect individuals from retaliatory defamation lawsuits after reporting misconduct, Lively's team asserted that her statements were legally protected and that Baldoni's lawsuit was an abuse of the judicial process.
It was like, what did she do with Isabella Ferrer? How did she love bomb her to the point that she's now using her? And Isabella Ferrer, let me tell you, you better lawyer up.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights?
Quickly, because you got, okay? She didn't love you like a little sister. She was going after a movie. And then I found this clip circulating on the internet of Isabella Ferrer at the London premiere of It Ends With Us being asked about her relationship with Blake Lively. Take a listen.
What was it like working with Blake? Has she given you any kind of advice?
I love her. She's the best. She's given me so much advice. She has been so generous to me. She has given me clothes. She's fed me. She's let me sleep over. I mean, she's just been like a big sister that I never had. I'm an only child, so I'm like, this is so nice.
Love bomb. Isabella Ferrer is 23, 24 years old. She might be 24 now, was 23 at the time of filming. And she's looking at this and she's going, this is so cool. Like, she's inviting me over for sleepovers. Why is Blake Lively inviting Isabella Ferrer over for sleepovers? You're dealing with grade A psychopaths. That's what you did, okay? It was about Justin Baldoni, and she knew, Ryan Reynolds and her were like, we need to have someone else on set saying something happened. They're trying to now use her to try to justify their lawsuit. And I believe that this has been a wicked plan that she hatched long ago. And Isabella Ferrer is actually a victim of just a nefarious, nasty woman named Blake Lively. Those are my thoughts.
Baldoni's legal team, however, remained undeterred. His attorney, Brian Friedman, criticized Lively's dismissal attempt, describing it as an abuse of the legal system. Friedman labeled Lively's claims as fantastical and insisted they would be disproved with evidence. He also rebuked Reynolds for his request to dismiss a parallel defamation suit against him, accusing the couple of trying to evade accountability despite their involvement. As the legal proceedings unfolded, Lively and Reynolds announced they would not be attending the 2025 Met Gala, an event they had co-chaired in 2022. Their decision to skip the high-profile event fueled speculation that the ongoing legal battles were taking a personal toll, prompting them to retreat from the public eye. 9. The court of public opinion remained divided. Supporters of Lively viewed her as a courageous figure standing up against misconduct in the entertainment industry, while critics, bolstered by voices like Owens, saw her actions as part of a problematic trend of unfounded accusations. The involvement of high-profile individuals and media outlets ensured that the case remained in the spotlight, with each development dissected and debated across platforms.